local news authority. Local, in-depth, community. You're watching KFDX3 News at 10.
Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm Jaron Spoor.
And I'm Lauren Linville. A company out of Graham is thinking outside the box to assist those on the front lines of the COVID-19 outbreak.
Excalibur Container is taking their custom steel storage containers and now offering medical assessment pods. Zach Verdia went to Graham to check them out and joins us with more. Zach?
Excalibur Container is doing their part in finding a safe solution for medical assistance during the COVID-19 outbreak.
We sent 5 out yesterday to power plants. We had a call just a second ago from Dover, Maryland, basically asking how fast we can get it there, which actually we can get to Maryland quite quick.
Excalibur Container makes custom steel containers, and as COVID-19 continues to spread, they decided to do something a little different, coming up with 3 different styles of medical assessment pods.
We've got it set up where the doctors can actually come in and visit with the patient in here in a sterile environment. They haven't been in a waiting room. They haven't even entered the medical facility.
Between the advanced, basic, and drive-through medical pods, the folks at Excalibur have their sights set on helping hundreds.
These have the capability of, with 3 to 5 testing staff in them to test up to 500 people a day. So when you're at a facility or a business, that's going to play a big role in limiting the exposure.
The goal is to provide medical professionals the most safe and comfortable place to take care of their patients.
We realize that, and we're getting stabilized units where the staff's going to be happy to work in there, at least not miserable, for 10 hours a day. The people coming up are not contaminating the facility or the staff members.
So we're transitioning all these protection facilities to try to ramp these up and get these out as fast as possible, hopefully to help prevent or slow the spread of this.
Director of Excalibur Container, Brett Isom, says it's a nice change of pace to build something that they know will help the public immediately.
We normally make hunting cabins, things for the military, things that a lot of times they don't even know what they're building. They go out, sometimes I don't even know what it's for. But now they all know we're doing something that's going to change what's going on in the United States. We're going to be able to make a difference.
An idea built on innovation in one of the nation's most uncertain times. To check out one of these medical assessment pods or to find out more on Excalibur, head over to TexomasHomepage.com.
All right, Zach, thank you so much.
Now, with the need for supplies and services continuing to grow, Governor Greg Abbott has waived several regulations to help meet Texas's growing need for nurses as the state responds to the virus. The governor's actions will expand Texas's active nursing workforce by allowing the following: temporary permit extensions to practice for graduate nurses and graduate vocational nurses who have yet to take the licensing exam, students in their final year of nursing school to meet their clinical objectives by exceeding the 50% limit on simulated experiences, and nurses with inactive licenses or retired nurses to reactivate their licenses. Now, Governor Abbott says Texas will continue to see a growing need for medical professionals to help us respond to these unique and challenging times. With these actions, Texas is taking an important step to meet that need. Now, he goes on to say nurses are essential to our ability to test for this virus, provide care for COVID-19 patients, and to continue providing other essential health care services. Suspending these regulations will allow us to bring additional skilled nurses into the workforce to assist with our efforts and enhance our COVID-19 response, end quote.
The worldwide cases of coronavirus reaching around 300,000 across the globe. Streets, restaurants, and major attractions are mostly deserted as local governments implement new changes to combat the rapid spread of COVID-19. Steve Harrigan has more on these efforts.
Italy seeing its worst day for the coronavirus deaths on Saturday, with nearly 800 in a 24-hour period. This military convoy was dispatched in northern Italy to transport the bodies of 30 people killed by the virus. The country's authorities are becoming increasingly frustrated as people continue to leave their homes despite appeals to stay indoors, prompting stricter controls, including more checkpoints. And some stores, like this one in Rome, are checking shoppers' temperatures when they shop for necessities.
Checking the temperature is a good precaution considering the current situation. I don't think it is an exaggeration.
Restrictions were also intensified in Germany, with officials urging more people to stay home. And on Saturday, Cuban lawmakers decided to temporarily ban tourists from the island.
We need to take strong measures now because we don't know when this ends.
There is a desperate scramble for additional hospital beds and medical equipment in some of the hardest hit areas. In Spain, overcrowded ICUs prompting the conversion of hotels and convention centers into makeshift medical wards. And people in this small Spanish village are making masks to help protect workers. Support for healthcare workers on the front lines knows no borders. In France, the iconic Eiffel Tower dazzled in a 10-minute light show tribute to healthcare workers. And in Spain, first responders honked and switched on their sirens to publicly praise some of Madrid's hospital workers.
At least 4 states in the U.S. have asked all non-essential workers to stay home, New Jersey being the latest to add to a growing list.
The Community Health Care Center is making a plea to the public for help as they desperately need more medical supplies. As COVID-19 surges on, places are running out of the things they need most to assist Texomans. They are getting incredibly low on masks, gloves, and other essential supplies while around patients. CEO of the Community Health Care Center, Alan Patterson, says in his 36 years as a healthcare administrator, he hasn't seen a need like this. And although these uncertain times are fearful for some, Patterson says the community has to help each other now more than ever.
We're at incredibly low inventories on all of this, and so we are needing help, and we're asking for it in as much passion and deliberateness as we possibly can.
Patterson says he's never been more concerned for his employees and patients that could be without the right equipment during the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, if you don't have enough supplies but still want to help out, the Health Care Center also accepts donations that will go towards supplies, and you can find a full list of those needs at TexomasHomepage.com. Those on Shepherd Air Force Base can rest a little easier after a permanent party airman and an airman in training tested negative for COVID-19. In a statement released on Shepherd Air Force Base's Facebook page, both the permanent party airmen and the airmen in training were tested Thursday. Officials stated while both tests came back negative, this doesn't mean they will stop their vigilance to combat coronavirus. The statement states, quote, "That's great news, of course, but it's no time to get complacent. If anything, it's a reminder of how important our efforts to flatten the curve really are," end quote. The statement reiterates the continued practices the Centers for Disease Control is recommending to people to reduce exposure and spread of the virus. Wash your hands often, sanitize when you can't, practice social distancing, avoid travel, stay home if you are sick, and disinfect objects and surfaces often. And as people prepare for alternative schooling after Governor Abbott's executive to close campuses until April 3rd, the WFISD is doing what it can for students during this time. Beginning Monday, WFISD Child Nutrition Department and Chartwells will distribute grab-and-go meals at various campuses. Those campuses include Barwise, Zunde, Scotland, Jefferson, and Southern Hills. And on Tuesday, bus drivers with Durham Transportation will begin to deliver meals to students at designated bus stops. Now, for all the locations for the grab-and-go meals, find this story on our app, Texoma to Go, which is available on both Google Play and the Apple App Store. Well, Michael Bowling joins us next with a look at your forecast. And still to come, it's a frenzy like none we've ever seen. Hoarding of paper products as well as other things. But is there anything you should be stocking up on? We'll have that coming up after weather.
You're watching KFDX3 News at 10 with Jaron Spoor, Lauren Linville, weather with Michael Bowling, and sports with MJ Baird.